take a little trip? Did you take a little trip into his mind? What's it look like? What's his mind look like? You're going to have to arrest your thoughts. You're going to have to arrest distractions and things, and my tummy's full and kind of glad to be quiet and just kind of sit here. Let me veg for a while. So you got to arrest your thoughts, because we're here for purpose. I mean, I think so. I think you came on purpose. Unless you got dragged here. But what's it like in the mind of God? You see, now, just for a moment, take a trip back to before time. The land before time, remember? Little dinosaurs are back there and stuff. Oh, that's a cartoon, sorry. So the land before time, the mind of God before time. And he had sparks. Call it thoughts, call it dreams. They're sparking. Like fireworks going off in his mind. I got things I want to do. I got things I want to make and build and create and... Oh, wait a minute. I was looking through all the file cabinets of thoughts and sparks, and there's one that looks just like me. Yeah. It's Sylvia. Looks just like me. Wow. And a smile goes across his face. Yes, yes. And he says, for my pleasure, purely for my pleasure, I'm going to create Sylvia. For my pleasure were all things created. I'm going to create Sylvia. She's going to be a delight. And she's going to begin to walk into the fulfilling of the dreams that I've held for eons and eons. I've held them waiting for a proper time. And Sylvia comes along and she grows up in the Lord and she begins to like Jesus a little bit. And then she meets Father and it's like, wow, this is so cool. And then she meets her threesome angel buddies, and then yeah, that's a story. Anyway, and she begins to walk in the dreams of her Father. Pretty soon, it's not just her being the dream of the Father, but she's walking in the dreams of fulfilling those dreams. What do you think Father's smile looks like now? What does that look like? Is he happy? Of course he's happy. And you know what I think? Certainly in keeping with what we're doing and our focus is, he says, and you know what? I never ever dreamed of you being only a human bound to earth, tethered to earth. That's never was in my dreams. That was only the incubator. That was only the gestation period. That was only a temporary. Because I've got something that's outside of time, and yet at the same time you can live in time. And you're going to learn to live in both of them. And these thoughts are further expressions of my dreams. So Sylvia begins looking into, I can live in heaven too? Amazing. Father's smile gets bigger. I mean, if it went to ear before, where's it go now? His smile is bigger. Wow. He's dreaming that for all of us. And now what we do is go back into the mind of God. God, could I participate with you in bringing forth another one of your dreams? Could I call forth things which are not as though they were? Could I participate with you? Is that grasping for deity? And I believe God says, not in the least. That was my dream. How could you grasp for this is so low what you're grasping for? You're just grasping for such low fruit. I've got stuff beyond that that'll just blow your cranial region. He says, I've got stuff for you. Just come on into it. Yes, you could partner with me. And yes, let me share a thought with you. Here's one of my dreams. Here's one of the sparks. Just like you started out to be, here's a spark that hasn't been manifested yet. I'm going to let you participate. I'm going to give you some angels. I'm going to give some angels, and you guys are going to go on a kingdom journey, fulfilling a project. A kingdom project. Oh, and you're going to, well, let me blame something on somebody other than me. Rick Joyner. Let me blame it on Rick Joyner. Everybody likes Rick Joyner, thinks he's pretty good. He wrote a book called The Final Quest, and one of his lines was, in that day, I saw people ruling over star systems and galaxies. Come on, guys. We thought we were grasping for the furthest reaches of our imagination, and we ain't seen nothing yet. God's dreams are so much bigger, and he says, I want you to be a part of bringing them forth. Oh, so the little playground stuff that we do, the little kiddie pool splashing that we do, like, what good is that? Oh, you're just playing around with kiddie stuff. Yes, exactly right. We're playing around with kiddie stuff, and we're learning, we're growing, becoming sons of God. Weos, the Greek word for mature sons of God. Learning how to be like God. He sees it more than we do. He believes it more than we do. And he's just waiting for us to come into fulfillment of it. Yeah, so Father, just thank you for refreshing us and watering the soil of our minds. Think of the verse that says, be renewed in the spirit of your mind, if I'm not mistaken. Be renewed in the spirit of your mind. You're renewing us. You're just seeding heavenly thoughts that are just blowing our doors off. Like, oh, but God, it's beyond my comfort zone. But it's in there. God, thank you that you're not leaving us out to just plateau and get stuffy and stale and bored. And then we get frustrated, and then we get irritable and sour, and people don't like us no more, and then you just have to take us to heaven so we don't cause any more trouble. I don't know. Something like that.
No, that's great.
And your thoughts are, how about you come up here? John 17:24. Oh, Father, that my people would come up here with me where I am, so that I could show them my glory. Oh God, you are watering our hearts. We feel the seeds just sprouting. They're sprouting into life. And they're going to spring up to everlasting. They're going to spring up to be oaks, mighty oaks of righteousness. And God, I don't know. I'm just trying to think of who could enumerate. Somebody said, Emmy, I think, who could count the ways, the thoughts that you have for us.